Hi, everyone, and thank you for those who are watching. I am Jeffrey Saunders, and for those of you who don't know me and you're watching off my business page, I am a healing medium. So just a brief description about how I've gotten to this point today is I had a death experience 3 years ago, completely changed my life. And then coming back to my body, being given a rare gift that I can see the beings that are always around us all the time. And I've been working with the higher evolved beings of light, and they've been working with me for a year and a half now. And I put together different sessions that I hold that have been instantly healing and changing people's lives just from the one session, as well as I've designed a class through them, teaching how to connect to the higher frequencies to heal ourselves and to heal others, whether it's other people or animals, and the gift that we have, the ability to heal one another. So I have on a beautiful friend of mine. Welcome, and thank you for
Thanks.
joining today. Yes. So we had a session together a week ago. And I always like to give a week before people come on and give their testimony. On my one session, there's 2 sessions. The first one is transformational healing session. And that one session alone can be just done alone. Or if they want to continue and do my second part, freeing your soul session, which is a 90-minute session from another one, they can take part in finishing off healing the layers of our past experiences of what we've been through. So we did the one session together a week ago. And I guess just for people to understand, how you were feeling before we booked that session, what's some things you're feeling within yourself that you want to share about with how you were before we did that first session.
Right, Jeff. Well, before the session, all I can say is my life has pretty been just full of anxiety and depression, a lot of sadness. Inability to sleep was a big issue for me. This has been going on since about 15. So really just almost feeling at rock bottom again, right? And feeling like this is the way my life is going to be for the rest of my life, like that there can't be joy or happiness anymore because of the circumstances I've gone through. And I've always watched your videos and wanted to do this. So, I'm like, you're my only hope, Jeff. So just watching other people's videos is kind of what, led me to you. And just knowing that there could be hope, right? If I give it a chance. And just there's been a lot of pain and experiences that I've gone through that just affected my daily life, even though it was in my past, right? So
And
that's pretty much where I was at.
Yeah, and is that, when we look back, was that more just as a child, the experiences, teenager, the experiences, like when were all these experiences for you that really piled down on you into your life today, living your life?
Well, Jeff, honestly, I'd say my whole entire childhood, teenage years, wow. And then being in toxic relationships, every single one, pretty much, except for maybe one. And then, in the last 5 years, getting a, terrible diagnosis, and then having my boyfriend pass away, and, having a baby and complications with that, like literally just my entire life, right? Literally of feeling unworthy and unwanted, and and then attracting all these people at that lower place and allowing them to treat me the way I did because I thought that's all I could do, and I didn't want to be alone, right?
Yeah. And then we just settle because we're afraid to be alone, right? One thing I forgot to mention, thank you so much for coming on and sharing. Typically, I want to be saying this at the beginning all the time, but it's something that came to me, that this takes a lot of courage for you to come on and share. A lot, right? We know the nerve. This is not easy for people to come and hop on and share a little bit about their life, but it is through the transformation of the one session that you had with me that we almost feel, and even with myself, with my life, I feel a sense of responsibility my life is transformed in such a beautiful way that I feel this responsibility after doing the healing work in my life to give back so others don't have to suffer. And you're the exact same way for coming on here today. So I truly want to thank you for taking the time
Yeah.
to come on. So what I do in this first session is it's removing layers of past pain and suffering. We've all lived through it, all of us. Not one person has lived life without suffering. Every time we suffer and we go through life in some way of what others have done to us, it puts layers over our light within us to not feel worthy on some level. Even on a surface level, people are like, yeah, I feel worthy. Deep down within, they know if they feel worthy or not. And we can't escape how we feel. We can trick within our mind, right, to think things, but it's really getting down to that level of energy. And it is the energy that I'm gifted to see and why I can do what I can do instantly in transforming people's lives that reach out to me to book a session. So it's understanding all the experiences that we've been through in life. We are all bodies of energy living within our physical body, coming here to learn, grow, and evolve. So we have to go through experiences. We are all energy. Everything is energy. And it is the energy of the experiences we've went through that I remove those layers of the past of hurt and pain. And it is through the most beautiful experience that you will share now on the actual healing connection part when I connect with people, because no matter where you live in the world, you're 5 hours away, Grand Prairie, so
Yeah.
I work with people all around the world, can connect with me. I can do this for everyone. So if you want to share about your experience with the actual connection part, when I connect to the other side, I allow it to run and work through me as it's connecting, with you. If you just want to share your experience for what you went through, the things that happened during that experience.
Right. Well, of course, I was a little nervous and skeptical and thinking nothing's going to happen because I've tried so many things in my past to heal.
Yeah.
But oh, it was amazing. I just had, my kind of incense going and um was able to see like purple light at the beginning, which was so just peaceful and comforting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just feeling energy. And then when you called Archangel Michael in, and I could just feel him around me and touching my left hand, it was almost tingling, right?
Yeah.
And then when you kind of upped up the energy a notch, like I could really see orange light and just feel it. Um, And then when you wanted to end it, it was like my body was like, "No way." The light just kept coming and coming, and I'm
Yes.
like, "Oh, no, this
You
is
don't want
over
it to stop.
already."
Because
Yeah,
for you,
yeah.
I can't recall, but for you, were you feeling any sensations within your physical body? Were you feeling a flow of anything? Or I can't remember with you or
Um,
not.
well, with me, I'd say mainly just seeing the lights, right?
Okay.
Feeling somewhat, like almost numbness in my hands and, you know, feelings, all the just relaxing more than anything. And for
Yeah.
the first time in my life, and just feeling almost presence around me, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like the light thing, I just can't get over. Like, I'm not a person
The,
who normally sees or feels any light anywhere. So
yeah.
it was good. It was really good.
Yeah.
Like, I have to believe that, the layers were being removed. And I know there were so many, and I don't know if you could see that or not, but um, just yeah, I can't even really explain it, and I'm sorry, I
It's a,
struggle with trying to explain it.
that's okay.
But
No, it's
yeah, I
fine.
could like, I felt it. It was great. Like, I wish this for everybody, like, just struggling and trying so many other ways and nothing really changing, like, always going back to the way I was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just do feel a change, and I can't explain it except that it was through you doing your work, right?
And that's the thing, you know, when I do this work with people,
Hmm.
people have a hard time trying to find the words to even put into the human
Hmm.
language for the experience that they've went through, because
Yeah.
it's not something that is common with the work that I am doing. It's not something that people have
Hmm.
experienced before, and I take huge responsibility in my life of knowing the gift that I have to heal people and how I can, you know, to really
Hmm.
put myself out there to do this work. So now moving past, you know,
Yeah.
in the session, I remove the layers that have been holding people back. And the biggest thing that people will always say, typically always, I feel so much lighter. I feel so much
Hmm.
lighter. Because what I
Hmm.
actually do, I remove the darkness by healing it. I bring in the light. I allow the light to work through me and connect with the person. And the light will actually start scanning, going through their body. And it will actually take the layers that we've discussed beforehand. It will bring it to the surface. And when it does that, God's light of the power frequency that I work with will then basically heal the energy that has been holding your light, dimming your light. And what ends up happening is we then move forward having control over our thoughts, feelings, and emotions. This is the huge thing from this one session, that people will say they have more clarity over their life, more strength, more willpower, more focus and drive for the things that they want now, because of removing the layers that I'm able to remove. So if you want to share about the impact after that one session over the last week, because it has been 7 days now, I think, right?
Hmm.
7, 8,
Yeah.
maybe.
7. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to just share now how your week has been since having that one testimony, one session with me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, after the session, I felt lighter, like just even driving, I was like, wow, there's just no anxiety whatsoever. I'm calm. I'm gonna get through this. This day is great. And then sleep. Oh my, like that night I noticed a difference. Like I've tried everything, sleeping pills, nothing works for me, right? And just literally laying down and just being at peace. Like there's, I don't know, just feeling like I I have no reason to worry, and that it doesn't serve me any good to do that, right? And
Yeah.
I don't know, just feeling lighter and like I know how important sleep is. I've always known that, but it's like the more I think about it, the less I can get any
Yeah.
actual
Because
sleep during the night,
you said
right?
before you were only getting what, like 3 hours of sleep,
Yeah,
maybe, if
two
that,
to three, two to
for like what,
three
years
years,
running
years.
on that.
Yeah, and I
So
mean, trying to raise a like
uh,
keep up with a 3-year-old and you wake up exhausted. It's
yeah.
so draining, right? And
Yes.
truly, like I've just been listening to meditation music before bed that we play during the session, and
Yeah.
yeah, I just feel peace and the ability, my mind is shut off, which
That's the
that's
prison
huge.
that we all live in.
It
We've
is.
all lived in it because we come here
Yeah.
to live in it. We come
Yeah.
here to live in a conditioned human mind that
Hmm.
goes through experiences, and then we need to find ourselves within a life again to find the true being of who we are,
Hmm.
and not to believe what we went through were us, to identify ourselves that I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, or from
Hmm.
all the painful experiences, that was only a conditioned mind that believed that. It wasn't the truth. It was false beliefs that we go through. So
Yeah.
then I guess it's fair to say that you've always lived within your mind then before our session, always
Oh,
trapped in your mind of suffering.
always, always like those negative tapes just 24/7 a day playing through my head, you know?
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's I understand, right? And I wish everyone could heal from that because I know what it does, right? It really takes away from all the beauty and all the good things in your life that you can't even see because you're so clouded with
Can
your
you see
within
it?
your mind,
Can you
right?
see it now?
Oh, yeah,
You can see
absolutely.
more love in your life now, more
Yeah,
things, good things.
yeah.
And a
And good
part of
things
that,
are coming.
yeah, and that's the thing. Now, energetically, your light has risen within to a higher frequency. So now we'll start manifesting greater things, greater opportunities, because we now feel worthier for it. And we all have that on some level within us, no matter how beautiful our life is today. Believe me, there are going to be layers that have not been removed yet, unless you've had someone like myself who can do what I can do in removing that to bring the full potential of your soul's essence to life within this life. So one more thing with you as well that was huge is boundaries of energy. Now we're clear with our mind of our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, because that is the gift that I am giving through this one experience, is to have more clarity over our mind. We are not one within our mind believing what we used to believe. So now you've had the strength through, if you briefly just want to touch on the relationship you just left, just the courage that you had, knowing that you deserve better things, you were able to have strength and now removing the things that were not serving your highest good to help you in life, right?
Yeah, right, right. And that's the thing, like, in my past, it was always just staying in those relationships and trying to be a better person for them or trying to change them. But really, the only person you have control of is yourself. And, um, all I can say is I forgive those people who've hurt me and I pray they get healing, right? So they don't do that to others. But I just have to move forward and only be concerned with me and what's best for my daughter. And
Yeah.
she's a light, so I tell you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
And
she
that's
is.
awesome.
And yeah, I just know that, yeah, all my fears that I had before don't really matter anymore. Like,
Yeah.
it's I think it's better off to be alone and be surrounded by people who support you and not bring you down, and
Definitely.
trying to dim my light, because I tell you,
Definitely.
I didn't even know who I was before, right? Because I just feel like I was never allowed to shine my light, right? It
Yeah.
was just being controlled and told you're
Not
not good enough, but whatever, man.
not anymore.
There's a light in there and I'm gonna
Yeah.
let it shine, because there's so much darkness. And we
Yeah.
need people with light right now in the world,
Well,
because yeah,
we are going to do that other session together. So the final other layers that hold us back, So that was
yeah.
just from the one session that you did with me. Can you imagine now the second
Hmm.
one when
I
we finish
know.
that second session, freeing your soul? And it's there is no dollar value that you can put on the healing that
Yeah.
happens during these sessions. There are none. With this. So I'm very humbled with what it is that I am doing in my life. So if there's what one thing would you tell someone about working with me, of maybe they're seeing my feed and they're like, they're skeptical. Like what would you tell those people?
Oh my. I would say give Jeff a chance, because really, what do you have to lose? Like, speaking from my experience, like, I don't know. I'm not like, the one word I would describe myself is broken, right? And other people have said that too, that they can just, I walk in a room and it's just broken. And
Mm.
like, I just feel like I'm not anymore. And there's hope. There's going to be good things happening, right?
Yeah.
Like, I understand people are skeptical and I get that, but what have you got to lose, right? This is your life. And
Yeah.
don't be like me and waste 43
Well,
years being unhappy and miserable and living in that space, right?
yes.
Like, that's one thing I feel is I've wasted so much time. Like, it's so precious. Life is so precious, right? And I love that you're doing what you're called to do. Like, you have a
Hmm.
gift. I can say I don't have that gift. So
Well, you
um
have another gift. You just have
right?
to, there's just more healing work that has to happen. We
Yeah,
all have gifts. We all have abilities. We all do. But
yeah,
we cannot reach our full potential of what they actually are until we've done the complete healing work of our own life.
yep,
And then once we do
yeah,
that, then we become more powerful and we start rising higher and higher
yeah.
with the gifts and abilities that we all have.
And
And
then you
one
could
thing I
give
want to
back. Yeah.
Exactly. And then you can give
Right.
back and you love your life. You love what you're doing.
Yeah.
But like the one thing I want to touch on before we end this call is saying that we're broken. I lived it
Oh,
all of my life. You know, I'm so broken. I'm so broken because of the suffering I've went through. And again, the session is for everyone. It doesn't have to be severe for what you've been through. The session, the first
yeah.
one I hold, is for everyone. But it's understanding that no, we're not broken. We never were. We
Yeah.
actually come here to go through these experiences so that we can do the healing work and then grow and evolve and elevate the being within. It's a part of the journey. So
Yeah.
it's we're never broken. It's now just doing the healing work with where you're at today moving forward. Now it's just putting all those pieces back together. It was almost like we're born into this world like a puzzle. I'm only going to use 50 pieces for a jigsaw. We won't go to 2,000. But we were complete, and then it's like our life is just scattered, and
Yeah.
then it's having to go through the experiences and to put that puzzle back throughout our life. But we have to do the healing work. We cannot sweep things under the rug thinking that, no, it's
Yeah.
fine, because it will
Yeah.
hold us back. And
Yeah.
you've always been perfect with who you've been, and you're always going to be perfect with where you're moving forward. But now it's having the boundaries of how people treat us moving forward, because now we're on our healing path to
Yeah.
continue to shine, right?
Right. Right.
Yes. So thank you so much for coming on and doing this today. Um, Very grateful. And I know for those who are watching, if you know someone who is suffering in any way, shape, or form, or not even suffering, but they want to understand or have this other connection to who they are, that I can guide them, put them through the most beautiful experience on awakening people to who we truly are within our physical body, please send them, even in their inbox, this video today. And again, thank you so much for coming on and
Yeah.
sharing with all of us.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you so much for having
Awesome.
me and
Yes.
for helping me
I look
and
forward to
adding
our
your life.
second session,
Yes, for sure. Me too. Me
right?
too. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for watching, and thanks again for coming on, and we'll talk again soon.